Hey, I'm Pani and this is my channel. So as per my new uploading schedule, Monday, or today, it should be Monday in most parts of the world I think, but Monday is the day to upload a kind of more fun video, like it's not a news video, it's not about what I'm playing, it's just like a different, like a list or a debate-ish kind of video, something like that. So today I'm going to be doing a little mini discussion with myself about MMORPGs, that is the subject of today's video, which you probably already knew considering it's like right up there, so sorry for wasting like 20 seconds of your life. Alright, so MMORPGs, I'm sure that a lot of you, most of you have probably like had some experience with MMORPGs, which is much more fun to say than MMORPGs, so from now on they're MMORPGs. So yeah, most of you have probably had some sort of experience with MMORPGs, either playing them or having heard about them or talked about them. If like you don't know, it stands for Massively Multiplayer Online Role-Playing Games, which basically means like you create a character in a little fantasy world and you just kind of level up, do quests to get more levels. It's pretty repetitive and in a lot of ways it's a big waste of time and kind of silly, but a lot of people get really into them and I'm one of them who gets sucked into an MMO, like a MMORPG, really easily and really quickly. As far as these games go, I tend to group them into either one of two categories, which is either free-to-play with microtransactions or a subscription fee. Occasionally, for those of you who don't know, I'm guessing most of you do, but I'll run over it quickly. Basically, the free-to-play ones are normally free to download, or I think most of them are free to download or buy on disc once, and then there's no subscription fee or anything. You play forever for free, but they often have the option of having microtransactions in the game, which basically means paying real money to buy things in-game that may or may not benefit you. They might just be like visual, like clothes that go over your armor, or there might be like an item that gives you more experience for a certain amount of time. The other type are the subscription fees, which basically mean that you pay a set amount every month just to have access to the game, which seems a little weird when you first kind of think about it, like, oh, I have to buy this game then keep paying to play it, but you're kind of like paying for the service, but basically that's the difference, subscription fees and microtransactions. When I first started playing MMORPGs, I was really into free-to-play ones because I just started, I just wanted to test them out. The first MMORPG I really got into, there have been a few over the years that I've gone back to. I've tried a lot of them out because they're a genre that I really enjoy, which is kind of weird because I'm not really sure. It's kind of hard to explain why I enjoy them so much, and I'm not really sure that I do. I just kind of get sucked into it, and I really, really want to play like all the time, which isn't very good for my life. But yeah, I've tried a whole bunch out over the years. The first one I got into big time was Maple Story, which is a 2D side-scrolling MMO, it sort of differs from a few different RPGs, MMORPGs. But that's where I kind of got my whole like terminology and my whole enjoyment of MMORPGs as a whole from Maple Story, which is probably a little sad to admit. If any of you have played it and you're like reformed like I am, you probably realize that it's really not a fantastic MMO. It's probably one of the low-tier ones. I'm not really sure how they're judged, but it's 2D, side-scrolling. It's very cutesy. It's fun for a while, but it gets very grindy and repetitive, which a lot of MMORPGs tend to after a while. There have been a few others that I've gone back to a few times. The only one I can think of right now is Flife or Fliff, Fly for Fun. It's another MMORPG. It's pretty, I enjoy it, but the map is really small and I can't really get into it for that long. Lunar Online's another one I played a couple of times, which is pretty fun, as far as MMORPGs go. As far as free-to-play MMORPGs go, those are the ones I have the most experience in, especially Maple Story, because I had actually wasted a lot of time and money in that game. As far as pay-to-play games go, I've never actually paid for a subscription for a game before, but I've done trials. All I really have to go off of pay-to-play games are, at this point, World of Warcraft, because I played the trial a few times, and Rift, which I've actually just started playing recently. One of the big things that turn people off pay-to-play MMORPGs is the fact that you have to buy something and then continue to pay for it. They kind of figure, fairly enough, that like once you buy something you should own it and be able to use it how you want, but I guess you kind of have to see it as you're paying for the service of the online. Like generally, pay-to-play MMOs do have much better, service from the people who run it, like better ticket service, better feedback service, and like, in my opinion, they tend to have a better community because everyone's paying for the same thing. People aren't going to pay just to stick around on a server and like be a tool. That's how I figure it, kind of. Free-to-play ones anyone can just pick up and go into and waste the day by like gang killing people or whatever. So that is one kind of thing that I see that subscription fee games have over free-to-play. that's all I'm going to say for now on the subscription versus free-to-play topic, because I've wasted like 3 minutes talking about that. But generally MMOs, they're not really seen in like the most positive light. Mostly, like, generally WoW. If you mention WoW in public, everyone's just like, oh, World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft. But, you know. So I guess the WoW's the big main one that people know about. Like, people who don't really play MMORPGs generally still know about WoW. And it kind of has a stigma, I guess, of like, if you mention you play WoW, then someone's going to be like, oh, they sit at home all day and they just raid and go and play dungeons with all these people online. It's kind of got this stigma attached of like sitting at home till like 4 AM every morning doing a dungeon raid or whatever, which in some cases can be true, because MMORPGs tend to be really addictive for some people. Like, I guess people with an addictive personality tend to get addicted to things easier, and MMORPGs are a thing that they can get addicted to. Addicted. I guess it's the kind of the rush to want to level as much as you can, as fast as you can. There is a level cap in most games, so there is kind of like a finish. I guess all games must have a level cap, but there's like a finish point, so I guess they want to get there as fast as they can. But it does take like, a lot of the time it takes years, well maybe not years, but a decent amount of time to get to the level cap, especially if it's their first character playthrough or whatever. So I'm not really sure what makes them so addictive. I just think they're pretty fun to play sometimes. They're more of a time waster, and at some point you kind of like sit back and say, this game is like not that fun. Why do I keep playing it and leveling and logging on? But I guess it is the addictive thing, and it's kind of cool to be able to like be having a really bad day and to come home, just like sit down at your computer and get into like a different world where like a different character that you got to create from scratch. That just seems kind of cool to me. I guess that's another one of the major appeal points that MMORPGs have for people. The fact that you get to like create a brand new character from scratch in a world where like no one knows you or anything, which is pretty cool. Like, if there's something you don't like about who you, like, your life in real life, you can kind of project the opposite into your character. So let's say, for an example, someone's like really short in real life, and this game option has a character slider to make them like taller or shorter. They can be like, oh well, I can be as tall as I want in this game, so they make themselves really tall. It's not a very good example, but if you kind of get what I'm saying there, that it's just like they kind of like project what they would like to be into the little fantasy character, and then because the fantasy character is a little more like what they would like to be, they kind of want to keep doing things that benefit this character. Anyway, I think I've probably bored you enough about MMORPGs. This probably isn't a very interesting video, but this is my Monday video. I had to get something up, and I've got time to record right now since the house is empty. So figured I'd do a video of the first thing that popped to mind, and the first thing that popped to mind was MMORPGs, because you'll actually see why on my Friday Panny's playing video, because I've been playing a MMORPG. If you don't want to wait till then, you can always check my Twitter feed, because I tweet a lot about what I'm playing, and you can also check my Facebook page, which the links to those are in the description. Don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and like this video if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to start leaving suggestions for my viewer video, which will be this time next week. I'm going to alternate between a kind of fun video and a viewer video, so it's just a video. I'll mention you in the video, I'll take your video suggestion, and that'll be next week's video. But I guess that's it for now. Don't forget to check the links in the description, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Bye!